Alright, you guys, we are here with Unit 2D review. The word problems in the back, we're going to do the evens, so that'll be 22, 24, 26, and I believe 28. Number 22 says, George saves nickels and dimes for paying tolls on his way to work. If he has 28 coins worth $2.60, how many of each coin does he have? And in my class, we talk about how there's two clues here. There's a quantity clue. How many coins does he have total? And there's a money clue, the total value of the equation. So when we're talking about quantity, then we only talk about quantity. When we're talking about money, we only talk about money. So quantity, it gives me a total. He has 28 coins. And I know that I'm using D for dimes and N for nickels. So this is a really simple quantity equation where D plus N equals 28. It just gave me the total, so I added instead of equal to the total. Then it gave me the money total is $2.60. And so we take the amount that a dime is worth and we put it next to the D, 0.10D, and we add it to the amount that a nickel is worth, which is 0.05 N, equals to $2.60. Money plus money equals money, right? So from here, we want to decide how to solve. I like to do substitution here because one of these letters is almost solved for. So I'm going to get D by himself in order to plug it into the opposite equation. So I'm going to subtract N on both sides. You get D equals 28 minus N. I'm going to take that and substitute it into the opposite equation where there's a D right there. So you get 0.10 parentheses 28 minus N. And then you continue writing this equation. Plus 0.05 N equals $2.60. From there, you'll want to distribute that 0.1 to each piece. You'll get 2.8 minus N minus 0.1 N plus 0.05 N equals $2.60. Then we'll combine like terms. These guys, negative 0.1 N plus 0.05 N is negative 0.05 N. You've got 2.8 there equals $2.60. We continue to solve for N by subtracting 2.8. And you get negative 0.05 N equals, and then 2.6 minus 2.8 is a negative 0.2. We divide by negative 0.05 on both sides, and we get N equals 4. That means he has 4 nickels. From there, we can solve for the number of dimes just by going back and plugging in here. Because I know D plus N equals 28, so I plug in D plus 4 equals 28. Subtract 4 on both sides, you get D equals 24. So what you want to do is you always want to go through and plug these two values back into the money equation in order to test to make sure you're correct. So I'm going to plug this into my calculator. Hope you guys can see. I'm going to put 0.1 times D, which is 24, plus 0.05 times my 4 nickels, and hit enter. You see how it says 2.6? That's the same thing as $2.60, which is what I wanted it to equal. So I know I did this right. Your solution is the 4 nickels and the 24 dimes. Number 24 is a little different. It's not talking about money, it's talking about people. So it says for a math project, 27 students were divided into 2 groups. One group had 3 more than twice the number of students in the other. How many students were in each group? So the first clue I have is the total number of students. So my first equation is going to be the quantity of students. It says X and Y are going to be my groups, my students in my groups. So it's a real simple total equation. X plus Y, the total number of students, is 27. The second clue is a little bit more complicated. It's right here. It says one group had 3 more than twice the number of students in the other. So one group has 3 more than. 3 is the number 3. More than means I'm adding. Twice the number, that means I'm multiplying. 2 times the number of students in the other. So this is a multiplication symbol. It's actually going to be multiplying by y because it's the students in the other. So one group had 3 plus 2y, 2 times the students of the other. 3 plus 2y. That's my second equation. X equals 3 plus 2y. We can go back and reread and make sure it makes sense. One group has 3 more than twice the amount of the other group. From here you want to solve. I would use substitution because I already have the one letter solved for. So you take this and plug it in to the opposite equation where there's an x. 3 plus 2y plus y equals 27. And you would combine like terms. 2y plus y is 3y equals 27. Subtract 3. 3y equals 24. Divide by 3, so y equals 8. Once you solve for the amount of one group, then you plug them in to that equation. And you get the other group is 3 more than 2 times 8. 2 times 8 is 16, so 3 plus 16 is 19. And remember what we said about checking our answer. We always want to check our answer in the opposite equation that we just worked on. So we would check our answer here to add these two to make sure they equal 27, and they do. 8 plus 19 is 27. So you get one group has 19 students, and the other group has 8 students. Now we'll move on to problem number 26. Says, a wilderness group is selling cans of nuts and boxes of microwave popcorn to raise money for a trip. A can of nuts sells for $4.50, and a box of microwave popcorn sells for $3. The group sells $252 in nuts and popcorn, and they sell twice as many boxes of popcorn as cans of nuts. So we've got a few different clues here. The first one I want to do is the money equation. That's the first thing that jumps out at me. I see $4.50 for popcorn, for nuts, and popcorn sells for $3. So I know that I'm going to take $4.50 for every can of nuts plus $3 for every can of popcorn, and I sold a total of $252 total. The next clue that I have is the difference between popcorn and nuts. It says they sell twice as many boxes of popcorn as nuts. And so what we want to do is think about, what did they sell the most of? And that's the popcorn. They sell twice as many boxes of popcorn as the nuts. So popcorn equals, and then twice means 2 times the N to get 2N. So that's 2 different equations about 2 separate items. Now we use substitution or elimination to solve. Here, I think substitution is the easiest because we already have the P solved for. So we put parentheses around there and plug it into the P of the opposite equation. Get 4.5N plus 3 times 2N equals 252. 3 times 2N is 6N, so 4.5N plus 6N equals 252. You want to combine like terms. 4.5N plus 6N is 10.5N equals 252. And then from there you want to divide by 10.5 on each side to solve for N. 252 divided by 10.5 gives you 24 cans of nuts. You want to make sure you label your answer. And it doesn't make sense to get a decimal here because you wouldn't have been able to sell like 24 and a half cans of nuts. So make sure you're coming out with whole numbers. From there, you'll want to plug it back into this P equation to solve for P. So you do 2 times, P equals 2 times 24, which is 48 bags of popcorn. And those are your solutions. Last one for this video is number 28. It says a rental company charges a flat fee of X dollars for a floor sander rental plus a Y dollar per hour of the rental. One customer rents a floor sander for 4 hours and pays $63. Another customer rents a floor sander for 6 hours and pays $87. So we've got 2 different variables here. We're talking about the flat fee of X and a per hour fee of Y. And there's 2 separate situations. One customer who rents it for 4 hours and pays $63, and the other customer who rents it for 6 hours and pays $87. So our flat fee plus my first per hour equals 63. Then the second clue is that if you have that flat fee and rent it for 6 hours, then you have to pay $87. And using these 2 equations, I can solve for both the flat fee and the hourly rate. So I like to do elimination here because it looks like these x's are almost going to eliminate. The only thing I need to do is multiply one of them by a -1 to change all those signs so that these signs eliminate. So -1 times x is -x, -1 times 6 is -6, and -1 times 87 is -87. Combine all your terms here. Your x's cancel, and you get -2y equals, and then -87 plus 63 gives you a -24. From there, you'll divide by -2 on both sides. Get y equals +12. So that's your per hour rate. So $12 per hour. And then we can plug it back into either equation in order to solve. So I'll just use that first one. X plus 4 times 12 equals 63. 4 times 12 is 48. So to solve for x, you would subtract 48 from both sides. X equals, what is that, 2, 12, 15? $15. And that's your flat rate. I know these word problems might be tricky, guys, but you need to practice, practice, practice. So make sure you get in a lot of problems before your test, okay? Come in if you have any questions. And hopefully these videos are helping you out.